The St. John's congregation has been part of Medicine Hat since the earliest days of the settlement. A Presbyterian Church service was held here in Medicine Hat on June 3, 1883. This was a full week before the first train crossed the South Saskatchewan River, which many point to as the beginnings of Medicine Hat as a settlement. In 1884, that congregation built a wood church here on this site, which was also used as Medicine Hat's first schoolhouse. In 1902, that wood structure was replaced by the brick church that we see today. It was Medicine Hat's second brick church and is the oldest church building in Medicine Hat. The church was the most impressive building in town, with its thick stone and brick walls. The congregation would have looked at this building made with local materials and say, "We built this and our great-grandchildren will bring their children here." One of the most interesting aspects of the exterior of the building are the names and initials carved into the brick and soft sandstone, dating back to the 1920s. One name to note is that of James Marshall, who carved his name as a boy and decades later created a beautiful brick mural on the building called the Teaching Christ. When Medicine Hat was first settled, burials occurred up on the southeast hill just above the town, and it was normal practice in the era to exhume remains and move them to make room for a growing town. St. John's decided to begin the Presbyterian Cemetery, which is now Hillside Cemetery, well out of town so that the deceased could remain undisturbed. Cecil Hargrave, who passed away as a young child, was the first to be buried at Hillside in 1886. We now know that congregations' concerns were well-founded. By the early 20th century, bodies were being moved to alternate cemetery sites, and we know now that some graves were missed, as work crews have rediscovered remains a couple of times in the past few years. In 1919, St. John's celebrated the installation of an organ designed and built specifically for their sanctuary by Cassavant Frere of St. Hyacinthe, Quebec. This endeavor was supported by a very healthy congregation. Music flourished in the congregation as the choir went on to compete and win in various provincial competitions in the 1920s. Following the Second World War, Medicine Hat boomed and so did St. John's. In the 1950s, new factories were opening with lots of job opportunities, and families moved to Medicine Hat in large numbers. Many attended church services and participated in other church activities. In 1954, the church opened their expansion, the Christian Education Center. It continues to be used today as a church hall for recreation, and the community is often welcomed in as part of downtown events for suppers, craft sales, and other events. St. John's Church and congregation has been here for the struggles and celebrations of our community, through world wars and pandemics, depression, as well as births, marriages, and funerals. It is located in the heart of our downtown, offering emotional, physical, and spiritual support.